we can move on to the next section of tips, exam tips. As I told before, guys, these are very quite generic suggestions to you as you all are going to take this journey of PMP exam. I thought it's good to have few handy tips to you. Remember that you're going to achieve the PMP certification to be better manager, right? So we have seen in our own organizations that there are many people who are designated as project managers and program managers by chance, right? So they're just given that job and they do not actually do justice to their job. But you, on the other hand, have taken this good decision to learn the PMP and also to be a better manager. So do not let the exam itself move you away from that thought. When you keep in mind that you have chosen this path to become a better manager, things will start getting easier to you. Yeah, I know this is a hard thing to be realized, but as much as possible, stop relating the things that happen to you in your organization with the lessons that you are going to learn here. So the PMBOK guide and any other PMP exam material will explain you the things which are generally accepted best practices and they are accepted worldwide. So I'm not saying here that your organizations do not follow the best practices, but every time it may not be the case. So sometimes you may feel this is something that I have not experienced in my company, so this might be wrong. So please don't have that mindset. Try to learn these things with open mind. I think I've mentioned this before. You have to be proud of the decision you have chosen to take one of the toughest exams in the world. And also, once you clear it, the level of responsibility that you're going to handle is not a small one. Your decisions could directly impact huge changes within the organization. So be proud of who you will be after this exam. There are many free and paid mock tests available out there on the internet. So before the exam, try to answer at least 5 mock exams. It gives you the confidence while you prepare. Also, plan these mock tests not at the end of your preparation timeline, but sometime in between. This allows you time to correct your preparation strategies. I think I've mentioned this also before. You have to learn all the 49 processes by heart. There is no way around, right? So you should be able to identify from which process group or from which knowledge area this process belongs to. There could be direct questions about these processes in the exam. So I keep repeating this over and over. You have to learn all the 49 processes by heart. You have to cover the PMBOK guide, guys. So I know it's a huge thing. It's a huge book. The 6th edition itself is like roughly 950 pages, 960 pages. And in addition to that, we have 7th edition also. So you don't have to learn this complete book by heart. There are some things which you cannot avoid, but you don't have to learn by heart all the 6th edition and 7th edition. But consider this as a good read and hover through all these pages in 6th edition and 7th edition at least once before the exam. The training classes that you take, the contact hours that you gather, they are actually good enough to cover all your syllabus that you require for the exam. But you will find one or two helpful words when you hover through this 6th and 7th edition of PMBOK guide, and they'll help you in the exam in one way or the other. Everyone who take the PMP exam is quite busy, right? So we all know everybody is a working professional. It is very difficult to take out the time slot every day. So what happens here is that people will either gather everything and push it to the weekends, or they make study plans such as once in a week time slots. It will overload you with a lot of data at once. So I strongly recommend that you have to study consistently. Do not overload on a single day. And remember that you can eat only so much in a day, right? Be well prepared with the check-in documents like ID proofs or cleaning of the room that I mentioned. If you choose the online proctored exam, it will help you free your mind on that day of the exam, right? So if you are unsure about an answer with a 50-50 chance, just follow your gut. Take those 10-minute breaks. Breaks are important. As I keep telling you, it will boost your minds. Beware of tricky questions. Sometimes the questions are quite confusing. The answers could be quite confusing. So make sure you read the questions twice or thrice before you select the answer. And as there is no negative marking, as I already told you, do not forget to answer all the questions before you submit the exam. So make sure you have not missed anything. We have 230 minutes for 180 questions. So if we target a minute for each questions, we will have time to recheck the answers at the end of the exam, right? So you have to target like 1 minute, one question to answer.